Hello?
This is not Frakia. This
Okay.
is the toxic man.
Oh, so
unlucky.
it is.
Unlucky.
It's Mr.
Yeah,
Bossman.
unlucky.
I'm gonna mute you now.
It's the boss man. Oh no.
Just kidding.
Yeah, good job at the start of the day. Mystic
No
Man
problem,
never
no
fails
problem.
to mute.
It's a
never
tradition.
fails to unmute his caster.
It's okay. I just basically insulted everyone in chat anyway.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fuck the fans.
All right.
This is why you're never allowed to cast ever again.
True. True. So this is the Leopard 1 skin. Dutch, of course. You might want to take it out today and go racing, because little known fact that Max won on today's
Spoilers.
F1. Oh, yeah, true. Spoiler alert. Lucky. No, Hamilton is just gonna win the season anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, this is the Dutch Leopard 1 camouflage. Pretty basic, but
I like it. I think it's my favorite
Yeah.
one actually out of them all.
I think it is semi-historical. I'm not sure if, like... I think that's because we didn't have any, like, base Leopard 1s, so... Essentially, it's fictional, but it's based on a real Leopard 1, but just a version I don't think we have in-game. Either way, that's...
Correct.
That's one. Let's see if I can get the other one. Let's go with the M60. I think this is in the historical one, right?
Can we get Lubu's
It's
link
historical.
spammed in chat right now?
Yeah, I got
Get
you.
rid of all the bushes.
Yeah, just give it. Spam it out, dude.
Also,
me-
shout out to Liechtenstein.
Yeah.
How do I say it?
Liechtenstein.
Yeah, Liechtenstein. He did the STB camouflage. He's going to be joining us on our skinning adventure. And from here on out, we're aiming now. Now, there's a huge difference between a tournament we make and a tournament that Gaijin makes. The tournaments that Gaijin makes, they make the skins for. The tournaments we make, our team makes the skins for.
Yeah.
As for our tournaments, our plan is to do 4 historical skins and 4 esports skins
Nice.
as the drops. So 2 skins a day on a 4-day tournament.
Yeah. Big. I think the historical skins are like any vehicle, right? And the fictional are
yeah.
a bit based on what's in the tournament.
Yeah, I like one thing I'd love to run by chat. Part of us would like to lean into the meme a bit more and make like the R3 T20 skin, the WZ305 skin, just any skins for vehicles people don't like, and the other half of the team would like to do skins for the skins of the lineup. So chat, now is your time to voice your opinions, so our skinners who are watching the chat now can get sort of an idea of what you're thinking. Do we do meme, like just full meme skins, or do we do skins on vehicles from the lineups?
Just showing the SCB1 skin right now. It's made from the colors of the No Aim community. I think. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah. So, got a little bit of yellow. What's that, white? I guess it's white, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one with the
literally
green,
sort of
black.
like band-aid on the back too, yeah.
And it's got red.
Liechtenstein. I sat down. I'm like, look, I need to get a skin made for this tournament. I don't really care about the colors or anything. He's like, do you have anything for me to work with? Any inspiration? I sent him the logo. I'm like, just take colors from that. And that's how he came up with the color palette for the skin.
I think Fritz is the guy that wants to make all these tournaments like actually happen. At the end of the year, he wants to do a 2v2 and then a few of the bigger tournaments, I believe. And then hopefully we maybe can get some like team skins going. That would be like honestly my dream
Yeah,
again.
team skins or the decals.
Yeah, that'd be great. Love to see that. I'm not sure if that's possible though, but
There
We'll
may
see.
also be a plan to get an Astro decal in the game.
Ooh,
For my
unlucky.
Team Astro fans, it's too bad they're dead and no one plays the game, but I want to get
That's
it in the
true.
game anyways.
What do you mean, dude? Please try to tell me.
Dad, I hate to tell you, but they're not coming back anymore.
Astro till I die, though.
True, true, true. All my homies love Astro. We joined here, though, by the lovely Frakia96.
Hello, hello.
What's up, Frakia?
I'm doing fine.
Our English caster from Italy.
Esports
to
Italy win.
Esports. Maybe.
Yeah.
So, Frakia, you were actually in this 2v2 tournament, yeah?
Yeah, I played till the loser bracket quarterfinal, I think.
And you actually like you're a tournament player, so you're used to doing 5v5s, yeah?
yeah.
So what? Like, just I want to ask like straight away without like anything else. If you were to do this tournament again, what would your suggestions be? If you were going to change anything?
The one spawn, like more than anything else, just the one spawn.
Yeah.
I will change it to like at least 2 spawns, but it should be 3 actually. To have a game that is that you are 100% sure that the best team won that game. Because a lot of things can happen one time. It's very difficult that they happen 6 times in a single
that was
game.
my thing. Yeah, not being able to retake because like your APDS got caught in a machine gun, or yeah, or like a little bit of terrain messed up. Yeah, where it's not really.
Like when you play Centauro and you see that like artillery fire on the screen, and you know it's your only tank, you're like gonna
Yeah, and it's
just
RNG.
run.
Yeah.
You have to run. You have to actually lose, like to go away to give up the spot because you see just artillery fire and have to, I don't know, just running around. You saw it on the final. They will keep moving, not because they actually. Sometimes not because they wanted to, but it was probably because they were seeing actually artillery fire on the screen at the moment.
Like, who was it we were watching? Mystic, and he like almost got hit 3 times with Arte, even though he moved. Yeah, in the final there.
I guess it was.
It was Forza, I'm pretty sure. It was like
Yeah, I
watching
guess so. Yeah.
Flower Bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, peeking him through a window. But yeah.
I mean, what can you do with the vehicles can always be balanced and it will be fine just as long as everyone's playing the best vehicles. It's not a big problem, but the spawn was a problem, 100%.
Yeah, I would like to see, like, from a spectator's point of view, not a caster's, would be like the ability for a team to come back at least, right? It would make it more exciting. Be maybe more willing to give their their tank like get destroyed to do some damage and know that we could come back in something else to and as well. Would you force them to take the same vehicle, or do you think they should be able to pick between a couple of vehicles per nation? So like Centauro's got speed, or you can have maybe OF 40 for something a bit more dependable. What do you think about that?
So you're asking if you want like the same vehicles to be used twice or not?
Yeah, like you have a choice. So you pick Italy, right? As your nation. You can maybe take the M60 or Centauro, but if you die in the M60, you come back in either an M60 or Centauro. Depending on
Okay.
depending on the situation for the retake, right? Do you think that would be better?
No, because it's really hard to make it's really difficult in this game to make lineups that are completely balanced overall. So most of the times you make a lineup that is gonna have like one really good tank, and then the other tanks are that they're technically still good, but they're not the same. So if you really want like the retake to happen, you need to be able to use the same vehicle twice. I think.
Right. Okay.
You can actually make some like balanced lineups, but it's not this BR. I think you need to change to go like to World War II or early Cold War. I think.
Would you prefer to have non-stabilized World War II tanks or the battle rating bracket that you played?
I would prefer to have like vehicles with armor. That actually matters. Like in this tournament, you will never see side scraping, never side scraping, just because if you show a single part of your Centauri, you get pressure damage by Hesh.
Yeah.
That's not what a tank tournament should like be.
Right,
You should be able to reverse side scraping, to side scrape, to actually tank some, like to be smart, to pick the shot. If you take it correctly, it's perfect. It's just fine. So there was just people being absolutely scared to show even a single part of their tank. That shouldn't be the case, I think.
That is true.
You should rely on armor a little bit more than you could really.
Yeah.
Especially with a lighter
Because you
vehicle.
can do it with like also not like World War II tanks, but also with like 10.7 tanks. You can actually tank a bit. It was probably just.
It's more with the frontal armor, but yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna really side scrape that much in a.
No, I guess
in a
not.
T90 or something like that,
No.
but yeah, the frontal armor is like decently reliable to some extent.
And I guess they're all roughly the same pace too, right? Like speed wise, at top tier,
Yeah.
top tier. And but that would then I guess it would limit some tournament players who don't have specific vehicles aced and things like that, right?
Not even tournament, just anybody at that point.
Yeah.
Not everybody has like a full, top tier lineup.
You know what would be crazy to have a tournament with like super heavies like IS4s, M103s.
I think they had the what was that tournament? It was a
the Spanish Cup, right? I
Was
remember
it?
the Spanish Cup. Is this possible?
It was the North America South America Cup.
Oh, okay.
The one that Rita did, right?
Yeah,
I
I
remember
don't
it.
remember them though. But yeah, they
It
had like
was
an
the-
IS4 against a T32 against what else was in there?
Like a 103s and stuff.
Not sure if the 103 is on there, but IS4 was played a lot. I think it wasn't an official tournament. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm not sure who did it, but it was pretty interesting.
Just because like we never had it. We had like Panthers and T34s for the past 2 years.
Oh yeah.
And maybe we should change a bit. I don't know. And batch that's
Yeah.
T25s.
I think
Yeah.
the batch head in future tournaments is gonna be a very popular pick with APHE.
So yeah, please Gaijin, remember when the patch comes out that the batch set is gonna get changed. So you need to revisit the lineups. Thank you.
APHE bad chat. Yeah,
It's gonna
nice.
be very nuts.
Everyone's waiting on Vegan, and here's us looking at bad chat.
Yeah.
Fans. Yeah.
Batch chat enjoyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like a super heavy tournament could be pretty interesting.
I heard of people talking about in a tournament Discord about talking about having like mixed 2v2s or 3v3s like this but with planes.
Yeah.
Someone was saying that with planes it would be more fun. I'm not sure if that is the case, but it's also that option.
I mean, you can certainly try it out like once.
We've talked about 4v4 jet tournaments for the past week. So yeah, I think that would be actually pretty exciting. I think 4v4 jets. The problem is passive play. Well, I guess we need to figure out how to run a 4v4 jet tournament. No one's really done it like on a big scale, I suppose. Trials.
I mean, like the whole jet meta, MiG-20, MiG-15s, and Sabres and things like that.
Well, it's not that. I think it's more of just the actual gameplay itself, right? Like a 4v4 jets, to keep everyone in a dogfight rather than playing super passive. It will be difficult. Just speaking to people who played jets a lot, you might get just one team just pick meta vehicles and fly off one direction, kind of unpunished, and then once they've got distance, like to use like what they call the sparrows and head-ons and things like that.
Next patch there's gonna be even better sparrows.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I suppose if it's like World War mode where they had the giant cap in the middle, and if it got capped, then one team won by default.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it took a while though for that cap to the tickets to bleed, but yeah. I mean, they could make that faster, I think.
Yeah, they could make it faster, yeah, but that's exactly what it would need though, is a complete redo, like someone from actual Gaijin staff would need to make a specific 4v4 jets map. I'd like to see like terrain make a part in like a jet tournament rather than just having it a skybox. We can actually use the ground to your advantage, especially when it comes to specific missiles.
Yeah,
you can actually.
There's not really that many like Warzone or top 2 jet maps with like a lot of terrain. I think
Korea, and even then it's not amazing.
I think it's not that much.
I don't know if like some arcade maps could be like incarnated.
You said arcade map with the tunnels and stuff.
That would be awesome.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone that would actually use them, but the option is there to like an entertainment factor, for like a 4v4 like tournament. But yeah, like 2v2 jets even would be exciting, but I think like a 4v4 is like the ultimate development. I keep saying this. I would love to see 4v4 ranked jets. So when you get to 11-0, it unlocks. Hey, you get like ranked matchmaking at top tier jets. It would be pretty cool.
I actually remember there was a mode that Gaijin tested. I always remember this. I don't know why. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. They tested a mode that was like it was for tanks, but it was a mode where you had like 3 spawns. It was from 8.0 to 9.3. You could get in. You had to play. It was a fixed, maybe 6v6 or 7v7, something like that.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
And then it was ranked. Like he had a rank. That was really good. I actually enjoyed it. It lasted 2 days only though.
I think it was a test.
How did the matchmaking work for it? Could you choose your teammates or?
No.
I guess it was random, but at least you just at that point you can just make an MMR system and then you play with people with your MMR and then both against and with your team, and it just works.
Yeah, I would really like to see that. I think it would work for jets better than it would work on ground. I don't know, like people are not going to people are going to agree, some people are going to disagree, but like 4v4 jet like ranked system I think would work like really well. It just gives people who have reached the end game, they've already got all the top tier jets, but where have they got to go from there, other than playing against the players who have just got their first 11 jet, right? It would at least give like some life to people who have already got to top tier, and maybe have like a specific decal if you're top 100 players at the end of each month or something. I don't know, or even if it's just something to do. I think like you guys need to think outside of the box now. The game is pretty old, and I think maybe like tournaments like this are fun like for spectators, but for people who are actually playing the game, like I think like a random ranked matchmaking thing would be pretty cool. Or even like I said, you join with your 4 squad mates against another 4 and just go for it.
Yeah, it gives you something that is not only
cutting out a bit.
I think we lost them. We've lost them.
Italy, no, don't swap teams on us again.
Yeah. Their internet's
switching
got
sides.
Verona.
Hello, do you hear me?
There he
Yes,
goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can-
Hello,
we can-
you hear you.
Okay. Say thanks to Italy, I guess.
So what do you think of that? Like, you know, that idea?
The ranked mode? Yeah, I think I always said it. That's what this game misses. Actually, a reason to play that is not only speeding your vehicles. Because tournaments are not the same as like
No.
this, like normal games. What you learn normal games is pretty much useless for tournaments. But
Yeah.
what you learn in normal games will actually be pretty useful in ranked match, and it actually help getting real statistics from the vehicles. Like, it doesn't matter if a vehicle is doing good in random battles. It doesn't matter. Most of the times, the statistics are not to actually read in the like. Like Batshot is doing good at 6.7. Let's put it against IS3s. Like, no, that's not. That's
No,
not
yeah.
how it works. But in ranked games, especially like if you create a ranked games like high skill levels, you will get actually real statistics from it. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can actually balance things in the correct way.
But for people in chat, for people who are still here, as 4,000 people is quite a lot. Would you like to see a ranked matchmaking at 11-0 Jets specifically, just as a sort of trial, basically? Would you play it? Basically, that's one if yes, two if no. You wouldn't be interested in it. I'd like to know. And just remember, if it's there, you don't need to use it.
Yeah, that's also
It
true.
exists for people who do want to play it, and that's the important thing, right? That's definitely the important thing. But yeah, I think a lot more could be done to breathe life into the end game for War Thunder. Especially like, I don't really like ARB. I would much prefer to play a ranked mode, because then it gives me some feedback of how I'm actually doing, rather than, you know, getting one or two kills, maybe the odd ace in top tier. It doesn't gauge your skill, right, at all.
Yeah,
it
not
doesn't.
much.
Yeah, you get an idea. I mean, you can watch some people who, like, you know, Cobb say Def and stuff like that. We're watching Jets and people in tournaments, that you can tell is like, oh, this guy is really good and is going to be, you know, consistently good at playing Jets. But how do you compare against the rest of the player base who aren't these guys, right? It would be a good thing to understand. Another thing you touched on as well, that's important to know, is what you said in random battles don't teach good tournament play. And I think me watching tournaments and having played minimal tournament like matches, it really doesn't. And you see it, oh haha, this guy, why did they take each other in a head on and both die? You know? And it's like, it's important to know that if they don't take that head on and both die, there's a chance that only one of them comes out alive, and that will then, they've lost if one of them survives. The teammate with the surviving cast playing, they've won the match, basically.
Yeah.
Right? There's no two ways about it. So you have to take the head on, you have to dedicate it. Are you both going to die? Yeah, for sure. But it means that there's not an airplane in the sky like fucking your team. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what they're, oh, why did he crash that plane? He could have went back and landed, but maybe there's not enough time. He had to spawn back in a tank to help his teammates to take a cap, right? And it's like 4D chess. It's a lot more complicated than just your average tournament game, you know? The vehicle meta and map meta is a lot harder to understand if you're just playing normal like matchmaking games for War Thunder. But when you watch tournaments, it's a completely different game, like entirely.
Yeah.
Most of the maps are actually like, just the fact that there are markers makes
Yeah, makes
most,
such a difference.
all the maps completely different. Like,
Yeah.
if you go on the monument of Normandy in a normal match, you die. Like, you have all the game that is shooting at you, but the monument in a tournament of Normandy is actually the most important place
God
in the
spot,
map.
yeah.
So it is completely different. And when I started play tournament, I remember the guy that who plays with me, and actually decided to, let's say, recruit me. Let's say it that way. I was coming like basically from SQBs and like normal games. It was like, yeah, it might be good, but we need to have like 1 week of custom battles, and then maybe we can try to play a tournament together. And then I was like, oh, I guess you're right. I was not even using APCR on a T25. Like, how many times do you load APCR on your T25 in a normal game?
Yeah, like almost never. Yeah, you see like a King Tiger and an up tier at range, then you maybe load one, right? If it's looking at you, but otherwise, it's stupid to look at King Tiger in the face, right?
Yeah, you just wait.
Yeah, so
you
you
just
go,
wait for
okay.
him to watch something else. Yes.
Yeah,
and you just,
exactly.
You
Yeah,
engage
yeah,
him
yeah.
in the side of the turret. Yeah, and that's how you kill him. But in a tournament, you just cannot. You have to. And
Yeah,
most of the and
same in
also
Jumbo as well, right?
Yeah.
Like you mostly have APCR loaded over APC-BC.
because a breach is all you need. Killing a breach is all you need. You don't need to make kills. You're not spading vehicles. You're not making like search points. You're trying to win the game. So if you get breach
Yeah.
and barrel, it's enough. You're gonna kill him. So you just load the PCR.
And the 2v2 as well. I've never seen so much hash loaded.
Yeah.
Like the players developed their own meta because Chintaro and Big Light spam, right? So everyone has hash loaded mainly. Yeah, it's interesting to see that. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. And then everyone, the tournament players have the specific vehicles in the lineups. They'll play them till they ace them, right? Yeah, which is super important. The difference between 0.4 second and a reload is
that's
massive.
huge.
Yeah, it's massive in matchmaking. It's even bigger in tournament.
Well, in matchmaking you can still get by because like most other people are not gonna be aced, right?
Yeah,
So like it's not a big deal in random matches, but in a tournament like everybody's gonna be, all the good teams are gonna be ace crews and stuff like that.
yeah.
So yeah,
No,
it's a
no, for
huge deal
sure.
in tournaments.
Frakia, how many vehicles do you know the reloads off the top of your head that are in the tournament battles?
All the tournament. All the vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? Because you don't really think you're like, all right, Tiger 2 has like 8-second reload roughly, right? But in a tournament, you need to know the reload of it, like aced, right? You need to know it, and you need to time it in your head. Do I have time to drive around this corner now that he's bounced the shot off me? That is mad. It is really, it's really interesting. That stuff. That's why I don't play tournaments, because it would take me like a year to even like get that knowledge and remember it.
Yeah.
Never mind have to play against players like you. It's so difficult. So difficult.
I think you can try. Let's do some custom battles together.
Wait, didn't you win? Didn't you win the most important tournament of all time in War
Oh,
Thunder?
no,
The
cringe.
With all the other tournament players.
My biggest thing, right? FFG is that tank is guild to me, right? The TA Cup tank. And until there's the day where Esports Ready War Thunder gets a tournament where people get their own tank in the game that aren't YouTubers or Twitch streamers, it's the day I'll be happy that I have mine. It's shame, dude. It's shame on me, honestly. But yeah, that's the goal. We want those sort of prizes for tournament players. What's the biggest prize you've ever won?
Me?
Yeah.
Only Gs.
Only GEs. What's the maximum?
Since when I start the maximum Gs, I don't remember. Probably. I don't know. I played so many tournaments. I actually have to check.
Like 5K, like more.
Yeah, that's probably. Since when I start play tournament, I started play tournament with 1000 GE coming from a pack back that I bought back in 2017.
Yeah.
And now, last time there was the discounts, I spent 23 kgs, I think, on discounts. So yeah.
Yeah.
In the past, that I got in the past a year and a half, I think.
Yeah, and for reference for people who are in the chat, Gaijin held a tournament called the YouTube Cup, and the prize was 100,000 golden eagles each to the winner,
per person.
an E100 and their own tank in the game. And there's, I mean, has outside of like tournaments like ESR Run and Thunder League, has there ever been even 100k GE for like tournament players before? Yeah.
Well,
It
not
was-
for like
we
per
did
player,
one, but
not per player.
Yeah, but I'm saying outside of esports, really. I'm saying.
No.
I
don't
think
think
the
so.
only thing that comes close was Thunder League.
Yeah.
Thunder League had
Yeah.
monetary incentives for teams to do like promotions of themselves.
Right.
And they were paired up with a content creator to promote their team. So, for instance, Team Think had the Orange Doom, and with him making content around Team Think, he would get a monetary incentive behind that. I think that's the closest we've ever come to like big rewards for players larger than like the ESR Cup.
Yeah, and to explain to chat, like FFG, like the prizes for these tournaments that are run on Esports Ready War Thunder, War Thunder contributes the TSS and the implementation of the skins, but for the prizes, that's who deals with that.
So for the money that so every Twitch sub, every bit, every time you watch an ad, all of the money goes to an account, and we basically take, apart from the $5 a month we spend on banging beats, all of that money basically goes back into tournament prize pools. So every time you watch an ad, you're helping to like further tournaments in War Thunder. So for the ESR Cup, we had like I think it was 500 USD, and that was basically money we had raised from the Twitch channels itself. So we aren't Gaijin. None of the money that we make here on Twitch goes towards Gaijin. It goes towards tournaments, creating prize pools, and passing those off to tournament players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and which then in turn translates to entertainment, free entertainment
Gaijin-
for the people who are watching.
Gaijin does
And skins.
sponsor. So for the ESR Cup, they did give us 100k GE for it. They gave us 100k GE for this tournament as well.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
And they're very much like impressed with what we do, and want to like continue to grow it. But it's sort of like a love-hate war with them. They can only give like so much. And like it's shameful to admit that us as casters probably make more GE in a month than a TSS player does.
Well, most definitely.
I
agree.
actually learned it from the past 2 weeks. Yes, you guys do. You take more Gs.
Oh, no,
For
not
big
even as
tournament-
caster, just as a content creator. It's actually.
I mean,
insane.
yeah, content creators. We also get a small bonus for casting tournaments of like 5k GE per big tournament, but it
Yeah. No, just like a sore question, like when for tournament players, I know from Mystic's point of view in Copsy, when they did the YouTube Cup, like how did that feel like as a tournament player to see like YouTubers getting like such a big prize?
Thank you for the question. I actually
be
hurts,
honest.
It actually hurts. Back in the day, I wasn't playing tournaments, so back then I wasn't actually like thinking of it. Now that I think of it, it's actually pretty ridiculous. Yes,
Yeah.
because I know that there are actually people, maybe not me, but there are actually people who are super dedicated to tournaments. Like they try stuff before a tournament, like
Yeah.
for a day in custom battles.
If you
Don't
look at the stat cards, they have like days in custom battles. It's actually unreal. Like I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
looking for like sneaky angles and stuff on maps,
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Also the air duelist guys, they play so many duels. It's insane
yeah.
how many duels they do in a day.
Yeah, before we started ESR, I was just a random Andy who hung out on the Eurus TeamSpeak. And I was like, I had all these. God, I don't want to fucking say this, but I had all these tournament players I like looked up to, right? So people like Kotzi, people like Thunderpants, people like Soren, right? Like, fuck it, I hate myself for admitting that. But like, I was like, yeah,
Flip
I want
it.
to get in the tournaments. I want to get behind this. Like, yeah, this sounds fucking sick, right? So I spent 12 hours over a weekend just getting the absolute shit kicked out of me by people who are 10 times better than me to prepare for this tournament. It was a 1v1 F2 F86 F2 duel tournament. So I spent like 12 hours trying to learn the ins and outs of the F2. That tournament was worth like 350 GE. It's like what, $2? It's not worth the time investment for players at this point to be investing the time to learn how, like, you know, learn the intricacies of like where a T-34-85 can pin a Tiger 2 from the front or like whatever, right? And that's like the biggest motivation behind ESR is like we want to make the tournaments you play on the weekend worth the amount of time you're investing to learn how to play the game at that level.
Yeah. So if you, let's say you're a player who has a couple of tech trees, right, maxed out, both air and ground, and you are thinking about getting into tournaments, how much practice do you think you would need with experienced players who are looking for, you know, teammates? How difficult is that to get into, like, you know, the type of tournaments we were talking about?
For grounds and for air, it's different. It's very different.
Let's talk ground then first.
Ground, it's probably 1 or 2 weeks of custom battles. If you are skilled, like if there isn't a skill issue to work on, or not enough experience, and it's just about like knowing the maps, 1 or 2 weeks are enough. You just go into like the weekly 1v1s and 2v2s. You start like making mistakes, and you just don't make them again. You get somebody to tell you where to go in every single map. There's not too many maps. Usually people play 3 or 4 or 5 maps. So once you know those maps, you start playing with the team. You're gonna suck at the start in the first tournaments you play. Because
yeah, imagine playing against people like you. Yeah,
maybe
it's
not
gonna
me,
be pretty
but
hard, yeah.
maybe
But
not
yeah,
me,
I mean,
but for sure.
yeah.
And then you actually just learn. If you're good on the ground, you're good to go after like 3 or 4 tournaments, and after you get your ass beaten. For the air, it's very different, because I actually know people that got the ass beaten for probably weeks or months before actually getting to the level to just being able to duel with Botia and like being people like this. It's even higher. The skill level is even higher than the ground, and that's also why you see you were talking about the add-ons. Sometimes it's because most of us cannot duel with the actual people who duel with they have like, I don't remember. Last time I checked Botia, it was like they like months or maybe in a year of custom battles. I don't remember. Probably months of custom battles. And they're just duels, like straight up duels.
Yeah,
So
you don't want to turn fight something like that at all.
no,
Especially with
I
ordnance.
take
yeah.
the add-on. I take the add-on. No problem.
Yeah,
I just take the add-on.
Yeah, it's more important for you to make sure they're not flying than it is for you to survive. Yeah, which is the point I'm trying to get across. Because people say, how are these guys? They're supposed to be so skilled, right? Why are they taking stupid head-ons like that? And you just explained it, right?
because I
you know that
better.
guy, you know that player, and how many hours he has just in custom battles alone, right? And how many duels. Probably that person has more time in duels than most players who have top tier vehicles have spent in battles, right?
Yeah.
Like by far. And trying to win against someone like that is the odds are very slim, and you only have like 2 or 3 rounds, right? To so you have to take it, right? It's super important.
The other like main like issue that, you know, people who aren't Botya aren't like the lady loser POVs is when you get into that match, you're limited on spawns. In a normal 5 versus 5, you have 17 spawns as a team. You have 2 fighter spawns, 2 bomber spawns, 2 attacker spawns for your air. It is you increase the value of those spawns with the people you're eliminating. So if you can get into 1 versus 1 with Botya, force him into a shitty head-on and take him out, then he's effectively neutralized for the rest of the match. Now you have to deal with his bomber spawn or whatever, but like he is incredibly hampered, and your like success chance skyrockets off that. Because if he manages to beat both your air players and he's given free reign, he drops a bomb, he RTBs, he gets into a bomber, and you can't challenge him.
Yeah, he doesn't lose the vehicle, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's
So,
it's,
like,
it's massively important.
It may seem like Papega is shit to do, but sometimes taking the head on and intentionally slamming into Botya is the way to go.
Yeah, it's like taking a queen chess piece out with a pawn, right? Is what you're saying. Yeah.
And also, most of the people that actually does that actually know that they are better, for example, with tanks. So you know those people, you know that, yeah, it's extremely good with planes, but it's not that good with tanks. So killing his planes is forcing him to play in tanks, which makes him, like, I don't say useless, but not as good as with planes. So you just take the trade and you go, okay, I trade, and then we go with tanks. I know I'm better, so let's go with tanks 1v1, or like, I don't know. So there's also these kind of things that are clear for us that play tournaments, because we know each other and because the community is really small, that really, as you said, in streaming is really hard to like make people understand, I guess.
Yeah. I think like a lot of focus needs to be put on, why they do that. Like as a caster, it's like sometimes like trying to learn by watching the 2v2 before like doing the casting today. It's easy for me to get excited about it because I actually really enjoy watching the tournaments. Like to me, it's like like an evolution of me to get better at War Thunder, right? Is watching other streamers who are better to get ideas of what they're doing, and you learn things in tournaments like sneaky angles, loading different ammunition types to deal with different tanks. But for instance, like 2 years ago, I had no idea that a Panther could shoot through Jumbo's manlet. Always trying to shoot machine gun.
To be fair, now it is kind of a roll of the dice, but yeah. Before the manlet rework,
Yeah, like those little things that you learn from watching a tournament are really important, to understand, to then take into normal random battles, make you a much better player than someone who's not watched the stream. Which is why I try and employ as many people who are watching the tournaments to actually watch them, because then you learn much better strategies to make you better at the game. And the better people are at War Thunder, the less stale the game is. It's not fun to play against people who have no idea what they're doing, right?
It's not fun to have them on the team either.
It's not exactly right. The tournament scene for any game, not just War Thunder, like Counter-Strike, and even battle ratings, battle royales, raises the skill like floor really higher. Like day by day people are watching, and makes the game much more enjoyable to play. Less seal clubby for certain. So it's cool. I love the tournament scene for anything. It's really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I've learned quite a bit from tournaments so far. Like Frakia told me last what's the last tournament we had?
It was
it was Victory Cup, no?
Yeah, Victory Cup. You told me about when you J out, the ticket bleed, the one-man ticket bleed actually becomes slower.
Yeah, it stalls it. Yeah, that's right.
That's something I had no idea actually existed, and stuff like that. Just small things, really, the details.
And imagine like the guy watching the stream, and he sees one guy left, and that guy suddenly J's out, and he's going like, "What is this idiot doing? Why? No, he jet out because he wants to win."
Exactly.
And he's trying to stop the ticket bleed.
And that works for like normal matchmaking too.
I think so, yeah, but
It does.
it's like the situation is so
Rare, yes.
yeah, rare,
It's very
yeah.
rare.
Yeah. Well, if you're on like a jungle map, you can stop the like like a certain percentage of your team is dead, right? And it starts doing that super fast ticket bleed. And jungle has like ticket bleed like a motherfucker anyway for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If a member of your team dies, it slows it. It's mad. It's mad. But like just little things like that is like it's funny to know. Really
Yeah.
funny to know.
I think jungle has just less tickets overall.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's
the
because of it.
games last so little. I've seen like jungle games like end in like 4 minutes.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
3 caps. Yeah.
5
But
minutes on a
it
single
doesn't
cap,
work
easy.
for tournaments, so in
Yeah.
tournaments it's actually correct.
Yeah.
The map is fixed, so I don't know why. It's...
Yeah, I'm not sure why they keep it like this.
I think
Very,
Gaijin
very
know the
odd.
map's shit. So they're
You
like, yeah,
think
let's
so?
not keep them here long. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Any junglers in chat, dude? Anyone who likes jungle in chat? I don't
I
like,
like
the new
jungle.
guys.
I
jungle
like-
too.
I
Just
think
don't
it's
like the ticket
super
bleed.
easy to spawn camp on. I think it's super easy to
Yeah.
control in normal RV
That's
battles.
the thing.
I
Yeah,
think
you
it's
just head west
probably-
out of the map.
Yup.
And a dardo so no one can get you.
True.
Like their map is
Yeah.
so broken. It's the perfect recipe of just being so bad in such a good way that it's easily abusable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for 2v2 tournament, back to Battle Buddies, you think even 3 spawns each? Or just 3 spawns total, did you say?
Each.
Each.
Usually the TSS 2v2s are 3 spawns each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually. But
I know-
I guess 2 can work as well.
I think Fritz is actually watching the stream right now. Like, he's one of the members
think-
of No Aim that organized it.
Yeah,
He already kind of acknowledged that that some changes can be made to make it better, and it's good that we have people from the TSS and members who are like to give us the feedback to make it more exciting to play, and of course more exciting to watch. Because knowing that one like one team member's out like on one team, and then maybe the other one gets damaged, you kind of like, oh well, that's it over, right? You kind of resided yourself. But if they have an extra like couple of spawns, then it can, like the team can actually come back from that. And to me,
Yeah.
that's the most important thing, right? Is from a viewer's perspective, it's more exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think like with more spawns as well. With one spawn, the map really doesn't matter that much, because there's like only one mistake you can make. Like you can't come back
Yeah.
anyway, so there's no spawn camping issue or anything like that. So
the mistakes you make on like Ryan are not the same though that you make
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
like the big map. I don't remember the name. The guy with
Sweden?
Carpathians.
yeah, Carpathian. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, it's it's a pretty big map for a 2v2. But the thing is, right, if you do die, you can't come back anyway, so
It happened,
in that sense, it wouldn't really
happens
matter that
sometimes.
much. But in well, not come back in a sense that one person can come back, the dead person can't come back.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah. So like in like a multiple spawn tournament, I would say picking a good map is even more crucial.
Yeah, you're picking that map though for like different reasons to what
Yeah.
you're picking in like a 3 respawn tournament.
Mhm.
Like one of the things I think Frakia brought this up to me when I was like first talking to him on TeamSpeak, is like one of the major reasons that tournament players pick like Rhine over maps like Normandy and stuff like that, is down to the safety of the spawns. In a 5-person or a 5v5 tournament, you need like 4 people to effectively lock down the spawns in specific locations, compared to a map like Normandy, where if you get the east side of the map, you can lock down both spawn points with a single person sitting on the sea cap. and then that C cap becomes the linchpin. Whereas in this tournament, I feel like a lot of players have had that freedom of, well, we don't have to worry about respawning, so let's pick maps that like will catch people off guard, or we know like certain spots around caps where we can exploit that sort of a thing.
Yeah, because
obviously the Russians kept picking Ryan because they're Russians,
but like the Carpathians match, right? Like they like for the first 5 minutes we didn't see any combat because they didn't like see each other, or they were just not in a position. Which on Rhine that wouldn't really happen, I would say. Or on we haven't seen Sweden at all, I think. Wonder why. Wonder why.
No, we saw it once. Remember?
Did we?
We had that amazing mid flank that like someone was staring at someone else, didn't see them, and they just snapshotted them, and then cleaned it up around the cap. It was on day 2.
I think what Fracky is saying though, with like more armored tanks and less stabilizers, like Sweden might actually be okay.
Yeah.
Like it won't be too bad. Then you can bring out vehicles that, you know, like T-54 that's maybe got as good gun depression or whatever. It would make sense then, you know.
One thing that we normally run in tournaments is markers. Now I know chat's gonna erupt and it's Arcade Plus when there's markers on, but what markers effectively do is they give you situational awareness that's on par with URQ, so you don't have to run URQ. It also allows people to have engagements with each other where it's not one dude manages to see him and shoots him in the side. People are actually angling against each other. People are actually using armor against each other. So in future, I'm pretty sure Fritz has already confirmed this, but the next 2v2 Battle Buddies tournament, which should probably be happening in December, will have markers on it for that purpose. I know a lot of people in chat, I saw it. A lot of people were saying, like, oh, how come these guys can't see each other? They're staring at each other. It's like, it's a non-market tournament. So while we can see them from a spectator standpoint, they're completely blind to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from someone who didn't do tournaments before, and I was like, oh god, markers is like too arcadey. But when you play a tournament, you understand why there's markers, because it's like, imagine playing chess, but you can see your opponent's chess pieces.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, it's ridiculous. And you need to, it's not just trying to develop a strategy. The other thing is, you guys remember you guys casted that no markers tournament before? It was like, was it 4v4 or something?
Yeah.
Nobody moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these were all people who are saying that people who play with markers are, you know, like pussies. But you're like, bro, you didn't move anywhere because you're too scared. And they just sat with their engines off and did nothing.
Yeah, the thing is, right, you can just wait on the corner and, oh, there you go, you get a free kill because they didn't see you or didn't hear you, or it just goes some, like, insane angle that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's sort like, it seems counterintuitive, but markers actually make matches more action-packed and, like a faster pace across the board, because when you know where someone is, you know you can flank around them. You know exactly how far you have to be around them to get around them.
Now, we should probably say, for tournaments, for random battles, like whatever.
Yeah, random
you know,
battles,
it's
I
fine.
don't really care. But for tournaments, we markers are the gold standard of like the core fundamental of gameplay that we need.
That's also the thing, right? Like making War Thunder competitive work, it makes it a lot different than the base game, right? Say realistic battles. Even I think Simulator has map markers, at least of your teammates. So
no, Sim only has map markers
to avoid team kills, maybe.
They have a system for you basically range find someone you're looking at, and it will tell you.
Yeah, but like. It doesn't have map marks like in sim tournaments.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah.
But yeah, like they get adjusted just a small bit to make it a bit more competitive. Because this is not like a competitive Bono game. Let's be real. It's it's made money in the first place. Gaijin exposed. Okay. yeah, like the focus of the game wasn't tournaments, but we make it work nonetheless.
But it can work. Like there's potential.
Yeah, there's definitely
Yeah,
it definitely can work.
Because
it's
playing them is not that bad. I can
No,
actually
no.
tell you, it's not that bad. You,
They've been adjusted
there's-
very well.
There's some RNG that it really gets to your head sometimes. When you like, I got eliminated because I shot an APDS next to the gun of a Centauro and I didn't breach him because my APDS decided to, I don't know, kill the commander and then just
Oh yeah, classic.
go straight through without touching the without touching the.
Because the person's turret was turning slightly or something. That always happens to me against Shintaro. I don't, and OF40. Like if their turret is like spinning the slightest bit, like the shell path is just like bullshit. I don't know why it does that.
The way I see it, I'd much rather play like 10 tournament matches or 10 competitive matches where I just straight up get beat because I'm versing someone better than me, than play like 5 RB matches where I get like killed by random arty, I get like I get flipped by bombs that are like 40 meters away from me, or I get like overpressured. It just
overpressure.
there is something a bit more satisfying about competitive battles to me. And like yeah, we named ourselves Esports Ready to like lean into the Reddit meme that the game will never be Esports Ready, but we do see a massive potential in War Thunder to be a very like competitive and thriving esports thing.
That's what like maybe that ranked mode that Oddboss was talking about could actually help Gaijin to make the game a little bit more competitive, because you have a mode that you can work on. You can actually, maybe it would be with Marcus, like the tournaments. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you actually just work on things they're not random battles where like random shit happens and you don't really get anything from it. So even tournaments could actually get better, and people could actually understand tournaments better because they play it a mode that is closer to the tournaments. Right now, most of the people, and I remember when I like transitioned from like random battles to tournaments, it was just too difficult. I see so many people that I know that are good players. I actually asked them, yo, this week I will not have my buddies for the 2v2. Do you want to come play with me just to try tournaments? Oh yeah, let's try. And then they get in a tournament and there are markers, there are maps that are played completely different, like from the way they play it in random battles, and they say, you know, like maybe this is not for me, I will not try it again, and they just give up because there's too much difference, you know, between the two things.
Yeah.
You need a lot of people that actually teach you, and you need dedication to do it because you want to. In the end, all the tournament players that you see, all of them are playing tournaments because they really wanted to. Otherwise, they will not be playing them. Not for the prizes, not for the... I mean, for sure not for the prizes.
Yeah, definitely not, yeah. 500 G. Yes.
So they're playing tournaments just because they really wanted to. Because they want the best, like, possible they're just
competitive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they want to show that by being the best.
It takes too much, and that's why probably the community is a bit too small, which makes in the end like the way Gaijin treats tournaments different, because the community is smaller, so they see the numbers, so I guess they also take conclusions from that. But we need something different that is gonna bring people to tournaments, and maybe that ranked mode. I don't know.
There now, like, to sort of peer behind the veil. Obviously, as like the person who's like the main person behind ESR, not to like discredit anyone, I love all the guys I get to work with on ESR, Mystic is
That's good.
literally old reliable himself. I hit him up. I'm like, hey yo, you're not spending these 2 weekends with your family. You're casting tournaments. He's like, yes, master. I'll wake up at 4 p.m. and I'll make sure that I cast the tournaments. But like, I do have like a direct line with Gaijin, obviously, right? Because we've got to organize this shit. And there is talks of how we would set up systems like this and set up game modes like this. I think the proper way to sort of continue to grow esports, or like the competitive side of War Thunder in general, is to have a specific competitive battles mode. So it would use RB physics, it would have markers, and it would be set up in a limited spawn system. It wouldn't have like spawn points or anything like that, like we have normal RB. It would be specifically for people to like play in a competitive environment. My personal take on it is, and I know you guys touched on it a bit earlier, and I don't want to detract, but is we would have like a 5 versus 5 solo queue mode. So it would be, you can only queue up by yourself. You get matched with 4 random teammates and 5 random enemies. You don't like, they're not all friends sitting in Discord. They're just dudes, and they play a competitive mode. And to complement that, you would also have like either a 5 versus 5 team-based mode where you queue up with 5 people and you play under the same rules, or a 7 versus 7 in the same nature. But you wouldn't have to be in a squadron or anything like that.
It's an idea, or are you working on it? Because that's
Yeah,
actually a bit announcement.
it's no. It's not an announcement. It is just
Okay.
a very strong,
Oh,
well-founded
why would
idea
you do that to us, dude?
that
Fuck
I'm
you.
Blue balls.
I'm pushing very hard. I'm pushing
Yeah.
very, very hard.
Well, you should tell us these things so we can, get some other big YouTubers to push that too. Because I won't be the only one interested in that. Like, for
Imagine
sure not.
game mode where all the sweaties played it, so you can play RB and not have to use your brain.
That's exactly what I was going to say about 4v4 competitive jets. You're no longer getting clam slammed by Devin Cobsey, like day in, day out at top tier. Where, it's generally the same players you see, right? All the time. Yeah, that we generally, I would say like at least half are going to be, right, okay, I'm going to spend half the night I would normally play normal jets playing ranked so I can flex my fancy rank on everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it used to actually, a long time ago, when I played Jets, I used to basically come up across like somebody like that I know that actually played well, like every match. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. To the point now, there's some sort of unwritten rule where you don't even engage each other if you're in the opposite team until the end. Yeah. So I don't know, like just. This is something I never learned like until a couple of years ago, but the sort of like top tier Jets, like best players community, don't kill each other at top tier, so they'll go land and then come back when it's just them left and have a 1v1 or a 2v2, like to drag the game on, like get more practice, which is like, it's bizarre to me that actually happens, right? And I guess a lot of people just don't know because they get clapped by them in the first like 5 minutes. It's mad. It's funny that happens. I got a row for killing somebody that didn't kill me on purpose, and that's how I found out about it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean like it's no secret. I can like remember back when the French Channel Crossing was a map in top tier Jets. I queued up against Dreamtree. I was in a G91. He was in a Hunter, and my team had like pretty much won the fight, and it was only him versus one other dude and myself. And I was like, Dream, handle it. And I let Dream have a nice 1v1 against him, and then we had a 1v1 once he'd like repaired, and like.
And then you won, right?
Like.
Right. Right.
No, he fucking fired the shit out of me. 'Cause I'm like,
Unlucky.
Yeah, it's mad that happens. It'd be better if there was just an arena for it, right? Rather than wait until the end of the game when everyone else is dead and it's just the 2 best players left alive. Yeah, it's mad.
All right. Well, this has been going on for quite a while, so I think we might call it here with a podcast. But what do you want to say?
I was just gonna say that if anyone was interested in the chat we had after the broadcast, I think Emergent said he would already upload it to YouTube. If anyone wants to listen back to it, it will be archived.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
But yeah, if you guys want to go, that's fine. I'm gonna leave the stream on for 30 more minutes with music going, just as an ending. If you just don't have the progress needed to get the skin, well, that's your fault at this point. This broadcast has been going on for 3 hours, 3.5 in like half an hour. Big brain. So
Quick maths.
It's been a
quick
long time.
maths.
You know, I know a lot of people are saying thanks Odd for keeping the stream going, but on it, it's really actually thanks Mystic.
Yeah,
He's the one running the tournament from his side. It's like close to midnight for you now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank these guys for running the stream longer. I'm just trying to filibuster to before Mystic actually has a stroke from being online too long for the past 2 weekends. But yeah, we're just filling time hopefully to get you guys. So how do you reckon you're gonna run some music for the next half hour or something, Mystic?
Yeah, 30 minutes, and then roll the advertisement and the credits, and then we end the stream. So there should be plenty of time for anybody that chimed in 1.5 hours ago to get the skin still. If you don't, well, you're pretty late, to be fair. So yeah, sorry about that, but that's your own fault. So yeah, I'll
be on the ball
before
next
we
time.
disappear.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these big tournaments, we post information about them like well in advance of Gaijin. We're like probably like a 2,000-year-old pipe that just leaks constantly. If you want to know ahead of time, like lineup information, drops, stuff like that, head over to the ESR Discord. We also post the leaks on Twitter. It's just at Esports Ready WT. All the links are below the stream. Thank you to everyone who came through and subbed today and subbed over the last couple weeks. I appreciate it so much. I'm glad to see that not everybody in chat was spamming about drops.
Yeah.
And wasn't just a drooling piece of shit whenever like shit wasn't going their way. Like I don't care. But like, thank you to everyone who came out and watched. We appreciate it a bunch. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you guys for having me on. I actually asked to be on. By the way, I forced these guys.
Yeah, he held us at gunpoint.
I'll send that $5 through PayPal.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching.